I'm Chelsea Davis. I started gymnastics when I was 3 and then ended up being on the national team for, I think, 5 years. I went to the 2008 Olympic trials, an Olympic selection camp, and then I was on the 2010 World Championship team and we won the silver medal. And then I went on to compete in college at the University of Georgia, competed all 4 years there and was an All-American. Similar to every little girl, when you first start gymnastics, your goals are to go to the Olympics. And I feel like for a while that was a dream. For a lot of years it was kind of something that we talked about and kind of joked about with my family. And then as I got more serious with gymnastics and started doing elite gymnastics, it actually became a goal instead of a dream. It was still a long shot, obviously, because only a handful of girls out of the thousands that do gymnastics get to make the Olympic team. But that was definitely what I was striving for the early part of my career. The hardest part for me, and this happens I think in a lot of elite gymnasts, was injuries. I was almost always playing catch up with everyone else, and I know probably everyone was going through it, but just a bunch of injuries during my elite career and then trying to manage those through college. So the injuries definitely taught me something every time it happened, and I think over the span of all of them in my gymnastics career, I wouldn't be the same person that I am today. I wouldn't go about my job and my marriage and my life the same way if I hadn't have dealt with some of those hardships during gymnastics. I can remember times where I'd have like a lower body injury, and bars was actually my weakest event, but I spent so many hours on bars when I was injured that's actually one of the reasons that I made the world team. So kind of using each different injury to learn something different and come back stronger. I went to Texas Dreams, and so someone that I obviously got to look up to every single day was Kim Zmeskal. She was my coach, and when I started looking at what gym I wanted to train elite at, she was a legend before me. And I was a little nervous going in my first day and doing gymnastics in front of someone that was so good at it. And then just growing that relationship during our time together. I trained there for, I think, 6 to 8 years, and I would call her one of my best friends now. So just kind of growing that relationship and her becoming a human to me versus somebody that I never would want to talk to or let me do gymnastics in front of. I really grew to trust her. Obviously, she knows how to do gymnastics, so when she gives a correction, she gives it both ways. So like from a technical way, and then she gives you what she thought about when she was a gymnast. And so I think getting that from both angles was awesome. I think some people go through elite gymnastics and don't look back on it fondly. Kim and I were a team the whole time that we were there. So excellent communication skills from both of us and trying to work towards a common goal versus her just telling me what to do and me just being a robot and going to do it. Especially during my high school years when I was trying to deal with a lot of injuries, it was definitely conversational, and we grew closer through that. And I think she grew as a coach, trying to get both of us through that, and I grew as a person as well. I think I'm the most proud of, after 2008, I didn't make the Olympic team, and I got a lot closer than I think a lot of people, even myself, expected to. And so then it was that much more of a letdown when it didn't happen, because it had gotten so close and so real that I hadn't thought of a goal after that. And so I remember Kim and I sitting in the gym having a conversation. She's like, "What are you gonna do now?" And I literally hadn't thought past that day of when they were gonna choose the Olympic team. And so after that, coming back and actually setting realistic goals of making the world team and then achieving that. And then, honestly, that's when I started thinking about going to college gymnastics. And I'm really proud that I competed all 4 years in college, despite the injuries that I had, and balanced being a student athlete. That was actually more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. Currently, I'm a physical therapist, so I work at an outpatient PT clinic with mostly orthopedic and musculoskeletal injuries. And then I'm actually a brevet judge on the side as well. So during my long weekends, I like to go judge the best athletes in the world. I think the culture has shifted so much in gymnastics in the last 5 to 10 years. We're doing the same type of training, but the torch has been passed and elevated for sure in terms of what these girls are gonna come out of the sport feeling. So just a much more positive culture going on, and they're still using the same tools that helped Team USA be amazing in the past, but doing it in a more healthy way. As a community as a whole, especially this camp, from what I've seen so far, it's all about the experience, and you're not going to look back and only think of the accolades that you had. You're going to think of the experience as a whole. So I think passing along those encouraging vibes and confidence and all of that is going to take these girls way farther in the future than just giving them corrections and telling them what to do.